Let's take a look at the courier logic on Mintsoft for helping to automate choosing a courier service for orders that have come in. If we go to the main menu and go to Shipping Management, our two main options here are Courier Service Selection and Courier Service Mapping. Courier Service Selection uses weight, value, and country-based rules to set blanket rules for pulling orders to a particular courier service. Courier Service Mapping is where the shipping tag that comes in with an order that was chosen at checkout by the customer is mapped to a service on Mintsoft. Allow me to give you a few examples of these. If we go to Courier Service Selection, we might be able to add a rule for a client. Will's Fitness Goods, for example, all Shopify orders might want to go with DPD 10 AM parcel. In courier service type, we can always put standard unless we've edited the courier service to have a different type. All services on Mintsoft are standard by default. We can then set either the country or shipping zone this rule applies to, so this might be United Kingdom, and then we could say that all orders between 0 and 5 kilos and between 0 and £500 might go with DPD 10 AM parcel. If the value doesn't matter, we could fill this with 99999. I could then click Add to save this rule and add further rules. If I scroll down, I can show you existing rules on the system. For example, API client, all European orders between 0 and 25 kilos, between 0 and £500 will go with DPD European Road Classic. You do need to make sure there are no clashes with these rules. So for example, if you have added a rule between 0 and 5 kilos, the next rule would want to start at 5.001 kilos. And this might go up to 30 kilos, for example. Next, we'll have a look at the courier service mapping. We go to Shipping Management again and go Courier Service Mapping. Here, if I click Create New, I can set a rule for Shopify orders for the client Will's Fitness Goods, and these orders might perhaps go with European Road Classic. The courier service is going to be standard by default, as I've just mentioned, and then in the name field, this is where we put the shipping tag that comes through on the order. The customer might have selected at checkout, for example, Europe Standard, and we map Europe Standard to DPD European Road Classic. If I click Add, this rule will be saved and I can add further mappings. If you're unsure of what the text might be on the shipping tag of an order, you can check this on the e-commerce platform or on Mintsoft on existing orders. If we go to the Orders overview and find an order, we can then go to Actions, Details. We can go to the History tab of the order. We can go to Extra Info, and it would be displayed in the table down here, the exact text that comes through as the shipping tag on the order. You can then copy and paste this into your courier service mapping and create a rule for it. Next, we'll take a look at offshore postcodes. It might be the case that depending on postcode of an order, you might need to select an alternate service. To achieve this, you can go to Shipping Management, Extras. You can go to Offshore Shipping Postcodes, and you can add postcodes to the system that you deem to be offshore. For example, if I put BT and click Add, all BT postcodes, which is Northern Ireland, are now recognized by Mintsoft as being offshore. I can then go to Shipping Management Extras once again, and I can go to Offshore Courier Service Mapping. I can then add some offshore rules. I can go to Add New Mapping, and I can make an alternate selection. So for example, if the courier service of an order was DPD next day parcel, and Mintsoft picked up the order to be an offshore order based on that postcode, I might then change it to a different service, such as European Road Classic. In this example, a more appropriate service might be DPD 2-day offshore Highlands. I could then click Add, and I've set the alternate service for this service here, and then I could add more alternates by clicking Add New Mapping.